There we go. Welcome back, Trials Talk, episode 16. Haven't done one of these for a while. Matt's been very busy doing all his Matt things that he does, minding for 3 or 4 different people throughout the season. Hugo has just been traveling around the world, basically. I don't know what he's been doing. I've been sort of quite busy as well, doing different bits and pieces at home here. And anyway, so been a while, like I say, since we've done one of these. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well if you want. It doesn't cost you anything, but it actually really does help the channel. And if you actually want to help the channel, we are now signed up for Super Likes, so you can donate some money to the channel as well, which would be great. Right. Anyway, so TrialGB season's pretty much finished. We didn't really cover very much. I think we covered the first round, and then we haven't really done very much else. So we'll start with that. Cahors happened at the weekend there. French round, very indoor style. Not really sure that's what an outdoor world championship should be, but anyway, that's another argument. Chat for another occasion. So what do we reckon, guys? World Championship this year, Tony Bow kind of just
did what Tony does, didn't he?
Yeah. What more did you expect, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not slowing down.
No. And I think, I don't know if it was because of what happened at the first round with the fuel thing for Jaime, but I think Jaime probably just sort of thought it's over and done already before he got really started. I don't think he was challenging as much, was he?
He's getting there now with it, though, isn't he? He's properly sort of seems to be steadying his results up. And it's nice to see, to be honest. Like I know Tony is still at times leaps and bounds ahead of everyone, but I think, in my opinion, Busto's the next sort of one to come along and sort of challenge him properly. Like, whether it's not necessarily this year all the time, but I think certainly over the next couple of years, he's going to really start to sort of be pushing him.
Yeah, I think so as well. Have you seen that road gap thing he posted on Instagram?
Oh my god,
he's an absolute head case.
I haven't seen that.
I mean, how far did he fall? He must have fallen about, what, 4 meters, 5 meters to the floor, and just landed on his feet and was just like...
He tries to jump the road. It must be like 30 meters, probably 20 meters, 30 meters, fair gap, massive.
It's a big jump.
And he just cases it, jumps back down onto the road.
And just comes up short, doesn't he?
Runs off laughing.
Right.
And his bike stays at the top, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least the bike stayed up. I suppose that's one thing. Does that count? I don't know. Was he out to finish? Front wheel was out.
He survived. It's a win, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It's all a win.
Yeah.
He strikes me as someone who would always get lucky with stuff, to be fair.
Yeah.
Do stupid things and just about get away with it.
Yeah, fair play. Someone's got to get away with them, haven't they?
Yeah. But I mean, some of Tony's winning margins this year have been huge.
Crazy, haven't they? Yeah, crazy.
Probably as big as at any time.
Yeah.
Through the previous 17 years or whatever the hell it is he's won.
Yeah.
It really does, until he retires, it really does seem...
Is it 16 or 18 now?
That's his 18th, I think, consecutive outdoor.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's mental.
What other sport is that happening?
No. Funny, somebody said that the other day. Is he the most successful sportsman, just in general, ever, with whatever it's 35 world championships now?
I tell you what, he's got to be close on for that one, hasn't he?
You would think. I mean, unless there's some Chinese table tennis player or tiddlywinks player.
Yeah, it's probably some obscure thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Foot golfer or something.
But it's an unbelievable record. I'm not sure that it's just the best thing for the sport, but you can't blame Tony for that, you know.
Oh no. Not at all.
It does get a bit boring though, doesn't it? When you sort of know what is it Mark Coombs calls it, the foregone conclusion class.
It's hard 'cause it's
Is that what he calls
like,
it?
That's the foregone conclusion class. Yeah, it's quite funny.
There's a guest we should get on.
Yeah, we should actually,
Yes.
because he's riding the Scott trial. I said I would try and help him out. He wants to try and do some fundraising actually, for all the British riders that are going to go and do the World Championship. And he wants to try and do a bit of fundraising. I don't know how much money he would get, but anyway, that aside, he still wants to do it. So fair enough, fair play. Whatever they get, just divide it up equally between whoever's heading off to the World Championship next season. So I'll have to look into that. I'll probably do that. I'm heading off to Cyprus tomorrow for a week, so
It's a hard life, isn't it?
Yeah. You're on about me traveling around the world at the start.
Well, I'm not the one who went to, where was it, Madeira, and then came back and then just went to Spain randomly as well.
I
mean, even Matt doesn't travel that much.
How many holidays have you been?
This is my second holiday this year. It's only my second.
Well, I've not been on a single holiday this year, and I feel like I've done nothing but travel.
Life's just one big holiday for you, Matt, isn't it?
Oh, mate, yeah, massively.
Right. Anyway, we're digressing.
I know. I was going to ask something. I saw something you put on Facebook. That's about the outdoor-indoor World Championship.
Yeah.
What would you like to see from it? As an outdoor round, what sort of thing would you like to see?
I don't have an objection to maybe one or two, maybe the first section and the last section, if they're sort of around the paddock area or whatever, being man-made or type thing like that, where it's easy for spectators to get to. That's brilliant. That's great. But I just think, what's the difference? I mean, it literally is just an outdoor indoor. So what's the purpose? What's the purpose of the indoor championship then? You know, it sort of becomes a bit of a grey area, I think. And I think, like I think I said in the post, Mother Nature has done a pretty good job at making sections. So why not use them? I think somebody else had posted, actually. I think I saw, was it Steve Saunders had put a post up as well, saying with an aerial view of a section, saying is this the World Championship or what?
Don't get me wrong, I agree, but I just think you've obviously got to have them couple, haven't you, for spectators? But it'd be nice to see some water involved and some, like, do you know, like in Japan they used to have the water. There's like similar stuff. They had all the water features and waterfalls in it.
Yeah.
Even there was none of that this year.
No.
It does take away from it a bit, doesn't it?
I mean, somebody sort of came back on saying, is that like Cahors, that urban trial, is that not good enough? It is in its own right. It's an event in its own right. It doesn't, it's not a World Championship trial, but it is a world-class event. But it's just
like one
round of the World Championship
rather than part of the championship before.
Yeah, I think there's a time and a place for all different trials. I mean, the Scott trial is completely different again, but brilliant. Scotland, totally different event. There's a time and a place for everything. But I think the World Championship just needs to have a few more natural sections. It's probably okay if they stick a log in somewhere or a rock in if there's to help a section out. But my God. Not to just build the section completely.
The way that I sort of look at it, if there's like as long as there's a variety of sections, I think that's the key thing. Like within an event, like, and I think, to be honest, like out of all the rounds this year, obviously one of my personal favourites is like Andorra every year. Like, I love it. I think it's an awesome trial, great sections, like, and it's a well-run event. And to be honest, like the German round we had this year, like we've got like a large number of, what have we got, like 4 or 5, well, to be fair, maybe 6 man-made sections, and the rest were all on steep banks, and it was good because you had like, you didn't really know what was going to happen, because you got your riders that love the indoor style but weren't so good on the steep stuff, and vice versa. But then some of the trials as well, I find, like, get a bit samey. Like in Italy, for example, like most of the trial was up the stream. Other than that, there was a couple of bank sections and a few indoor ones. It's not I think to be honest, I think as long as you've got variety within the championship, I think it doesn't really matter if it's solely sort of indoor style. And on the same foot as well, like Gahore's as like a spectator is a mega event because you can see every section. Like if you're taking your family with you, for example, it's not a massive walk round, and like a lot of the others, unless you know where you are or whatever, you could quite easily like lose a day just seeing 3 sections. And in my opinion, you want to get your money's worth of going and paying to watch or whatever, and also see the most of the riders that you sort of flick through in magazines and go on social media and stuff.
Yeah. No, totally. That's why you definitely need like them few in it as a balance to.
Yeah, 100%.
For spectators as well, and making it more of an event like based around the town or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Belgium score like that, Comblain, De Pont or Opont or whatever, when you've got like the ones on the hillside out of the town. Pretty cool.
But they're more there's more natural sections there, is there, Matt, than there is man-made. Pobladura is probably
I mean, to be honest, Pobladura is
there's a variety of sections there. You've got rivers, you've got the hillside, you've got the man-made ones.
Yeah, I think Pobladura is a great venue for like a European Championship or something like that. In my opinion, Pobladura for a world round is just a little bit sort of too stuck out on its own. All the sections are a bit far apart, really, for a spectator. Like as a rider, a reminder, it's great, like because you get a bit of a ride round. There's a good variety of all natural sort of stuff, other than maybe 2 or 3 sort of indoor sections. But I think, like as a spectator, it's possibly not one of the better rounds.
Yeah, I don't know. You're able to. Well, you need to be able to drive. Actually, you need to be able to drive up and down that sort of road to go to the first group at the river. But if you go in there, it doesn't take long to walk up that hill, and you can see maybe 4 or 5 other sections up there, which is
right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. I was there in 2021, I think. I can't remember. I think it was 2021.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great venue, apart from the fact that there's no shops in the town.
You probably wouldn't want 10,000 spectators all driving up and down.
No, I mean,
there is that as well. No, I mean, anyway,
it'll be interesting to see what TDN's like there this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Not so many. Well, I suppose you don't get maybe as many spectators at TDN, although it is in Spain, but you never know. Anyway, right.
Well, let's see.
Right. So where are we now? We're off track again. Right. So Busto, we've kind of covered Busto. I've just sort of made a wee note there. I think he's quite consistently inconsistent. But as you said, Matt, towards the end of the season, towards these last few rounds, he seems to be sort of getting that maybe under control a wee bit more. Marcelli, he's kind of not really done that much this year, has he?
He's like more consistent in a way, but it's just not as exciting, is it, as well?
But you sort of, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I sort of look at him riding and I'm waiting for him to kind of do something really exciting, but it just sort of never really happens.
Yeah.
It's a bit difficult to know. Adam has had a bit of a return to form, I think it's probably fair to say, but
I mean, I think he was sitting third for a fair while at the weekend. And then I think
at one point.
Was he? Yeah, I'm not sure. But again, that's all down to sort of the style of the event. Like Adam loves indoor.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, like of indoor trials is between like sort of Tony, him, and Busto. In my opinion, but I think possibly as well what's maybe playing a part is like maybe he's finally sort of clicking with his bike and he's finally getting used to it and he's got settings he's happy with, and I think when you're making such a massive jump like that, it's always going to take you most of a season to get comfortable and
it's a big change.
So you see them videos from like what's at his house or Raga school, whatever he calls it. He's going to be good at going to like the indoor stuff, and he really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much all he practices.
Yeah, he loves it.
Interestingly, the videos he's been putting up there the last couple of days of this young fella.
Yeah.
On the little Ossett. That's a great advert for Ossett.
Yeah.
No, I notice he hasn't got the
it's
TRS. Anyway, he's not on a TRS electric bike.
No.
Probably quite unsurprisingly. Right. That's just about covered TrialGB. There is the sort of elephant in the room, and we chatted a little bit about this before we started recording, of the whole Toby Martin thing. Not probably just not to say too much about that. I think it'll all come out in the wash, just whatever has happened there. So yeah, I think we'll probably just leave that one. Moving swiftly on, TrialGB women. Matt, you're
what would you like to know?
Yeah, you're the.
What would you like to know? TrialGB women correspondent.
I have to say, I watched. I literally tonight actually. I watched that the balancing act, a little sort of highlight video. Cahors at the weekend there, and some of those ladies sections looked pretty big.
Yeah, they look.
Yeah, I mean, it was, to be honest.
Yeah, sorry, Matt. What were you saying?
No, you're all right. I think it was the biggest TrialGB women like sections I've seen in the 3 years I've been minding for like Lisi. It was mad, like watching some of the good riders like not get up some of this stuff. I was just like, but we were walking the sections on Saturday and just like, bloody hell, that's a big ask, and especially it was absolutely chucking it down with rain. And we were all, and to be fair, like it did dry up, and they did sort of take a few bits out of some of the sections, but it was a lot of the sections were a big ask.
Do you think it was a bit much, or was it more of like the standard it should be? Because they weren't like, from what I've seen, they weren't struggling that, like the bigger stuff. People were getting up and things from what I've seen. Obviously, I wasn't there, but.
Yeah, so the biggest sort of step in the trial was the one sort of, I think it was section 10. They basically went in and there was just like a massive sort of splat. And first lap, I think I only saw like 3 or 4 riders get up it. There was bikes going everywhere. I don't think Emma got up it first lap either.
Was that beside a wall?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, she crashed off that and got sort of stuck between the wall and the bike.
Yeah, so that was about the biggest thing. And everything else was just like, wasn't massive, but quite sort of techie, like how you had to ride it. And I think that's what catches a lot of the girls out. Like some of them aren't scared of hitting something, which is like obviously the ones that were getting up this big step. But I think a large portion of the marks were actually dropped on the slightly more sort of like techie rocks. Like so. But it was, I think for the style of event it was, I think they set it out pretty well. Considering the level of some of the girls like at that sort of terrain like isn't as high as your top 3. So trying to set a trial out that's gonna cater for 11 riders, not just 2 or 3 of the riders, is quite hard. And I think they did a fairly good job of it, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not an easy task that. Yeah, so in the championship then Emma, I think, has a 10-point lead going into the last round, which is a double header, so she still needs to finish second at least.
She needs a good couple of days, doesn't she? Yeah.
Hopefully she'll be able to do that, because I think she's announced that she's going to retire at the end of the season. So it would be nice to go out on top and become 10-time world champion.
Pretty good, fair dues.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, absolutely. I hope she does it. What was the deal with Alice? I was actually hoping she might come on tonight, but anyway, what was the deal there? Who touched her bike? It wasn't Naomi Monier's minder by any chance, was it?
I'm not actually sure who touched the bike.
Was it like a catch? Was it?
No, so as far as I'm aware, it was someone I think someone in the FIM sort of technical team got a picture of someone helping her minder change wheels. So I think someone was holding the bike and someone was changing a wheel, but I don't know who it was.
Right.
So I think,
Right.
but I think it was a bit of a. Ultimately, it's a rule. Not all rules are good rules, are they? Just generally through life.
Yeah.
No, I know.
So I think it's unfortunately, a rule was broken, and she had a bit of a. It's just not.
It's a real shame because she was riding really well.
Massively, yeah.
She was she third? I think she was in third place at the end of the first lap.
She was, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just looking at the scores. She was like fifth. She would have been like fifth or sixth or overall, I think.
That's a shame. Anyway,
the scores
as
as
you
well,
say.
quite interestingly, the scores are like similar for Trial GP women as you go through the order as they were for Trial GP men, not far off. That's why I was asking the standard really compared to other rounds, because it looks more like they lose the marks then for the two classes, but
yeah, definitely. It wasn't the low scoring sort of ladies class that it sort of normally is.
Probably just me being a bit boring, to be fair.
Right. Okay. On that note, trial 2 going really well. Hopefully Jack Peace can get it over the line this year. I think he is 20 points clear with the 2 remaining rounds in Spain to go. So I don't want to jinx him. I'm not going to say any more on that. Just really hope. He's been so close so many times.
For so many years, it'd be nice to see him do it.
Yeah, I think so. But the British lads all going really well in that.
They are,
yeah.
Billy, Harry, obviously. Jack Dance actually surprised me when I looked up the points. He's worked despite the fact that he didn't finish the first round because of the whole fuel thing in Japan. He's managed to work his way back. I think he's got back up to 8th in the championship, which isn't an easy thing to do in that class. It is so competitive.
No.
So fair. He's just been steadily working away and he's done very, very well, all things considered. Trial 3, obviously, G-Man has wrapped that up. Although I think were they a bit premature with the celebrations at the last round?
No, so I think he had won it. In Belgium.
I wasn't sure.
No, he'd already won. He had to finish that was the last round of Trial 3, wasn't it? They're not at the last one.
Yeah, because I think he said he's going to go. He's going to ride Trial 2.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
In Spain, so that'll be interesting to watch actually, just to see how he makes that transition. I think his season in the British Championship and riding TrialGB will really help him out with that sort of switch. You and Sim, I mean, unbelievable. What a debut season
great season he's had.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody, probably including himself, saw that one coming.
Fair play, yeah.
Yeah, he's
one for watching it next year, won't he? For sure.
Absolutely, yeah. He'll be like George this year. He'll have a big target on his back next year. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is a challenge in itself, then, isn't it? Really, to ride when it's expected of you, sort of.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he was sort of probably a bit of an underdog, really, coming in this year, which is always probably the easier situation to be in. Billy Green was in the same situation in Trial 2 this year, obviously being the defending champion. To be fair, he's done pretty well as well. It's such a competitive class. I mean, you look at the scores, halfway around the first lap, and there's like 7 people on the same score.
I know, it's unbelievably
It's just, I mean, a 5 is a disaster nearly in that class. You know, you could be out of the points.
Isn't it? If you're one of the top 15, the 5 is like 5th to 10th or something.
Yeah, I mean, it must. mentally.
You've just got to look at Canales this weekend, haven't you? He's been having a hellish year, and when he can not make a silly mistake, he can win it all day long. And then, like, I think he was leading pretty much most of Sunday, and 5 the last section.
Yeah. Mad.
And that cost him.
It's like a Jaime Busto type thing. And a bit of a shout out to Harrison Skelton as well, who's done the last few rounds as well. He's put in some top 10 finishes there in Trial 3 as well. So fair play. It's good to see. Good to see so many
definitely.
British talent. The future of British trials is looking quite rosy. It remains to be seen. I don't know who'll move up from Trial 2. I'm presuming probably Jack and Billy will both move to TrialGB next year. I suppose it all depends on sponsorship and
it depends on
funding and everything else, because you've got to be full time, really, haven't you, to be TrialGB.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think for some reason I feel like Billy signed for Trial 2 for a few years. I could be wrong, but I think Billy will be staying in Trial 2 for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, but I would have thought so as well. But...
Yeah, well, maybe if
Jack can get Trial 2 under his belt, you'd have thought he'd be insisting on trying to move up, I imagine.
You'd think so, wouldn't it?
It'd be good to see him move up as well. Like, he's got Jamie, he'll be sticking with him. You need in that class. If he moves up to GP, he'll need Jamie, and it'd be nice to see him like up at the top of the sport and pushing and seeing where he can go with it. I think it'd be nice to see him finally sort of get out of Trial 2.
I think the effort Jack's put in, he deserves a good crack at it, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Absolutely. No, it'd be great to see. It's a difficult one, that, because I know from speaking to Jack and to Billy about it, like, it basically doubles the cost, because you're paying your minder full time basically to be able to go into TrialGB, because obviously you need to be practicing the big stuff, so you need the minder to be there when you're practicing.
Yeah.
It's a fair old financial commitment. I mean, we've seen obviously last season Toby having to sort of crowdfund and do all that sort of thing to try and get the finances together for a season. I don't know. The ACU probably should be putting their hand in their pocket a wee bit, shouldn't they? I mean, surely. Surely Trials has produced more world champions for the ACU over the last 10 years than any other sport that they govern. Any other motorcycles, obviously motorcycles that they govern.
It'd be nice to see the ACU chuck a bit of money back into the trial sport, but
wouldn't it?
Unfortunately, I think we'll be waiting a long time.
Yeah.
I think we might have covered this before. I think when we put like the support the Spanish Federation give through the like SPIA, like RFME team.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure their trials license is like well over €100 for the year, or even more maybe.
I think it's €150 or something. Yeah.
Like I was like 20 quid or whatever. So if you up that a bit, then it might be able to generate a bit more support for actually like helping riders out properly. But it's a big thing.
It would be good. It would be good to see an ACU sort of set up something similar to the Spanish one. I don't think there's any reason why it couldn't be done, but money is the biggest reason, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Where are we going next?
Cyprus.
Yes. How could I forget? British Trials Championship then. 5 rounds this year. Obviously, we've done 3, 2 remaining, 1 this weekend, which unfortunately I'll not be at. And final round next weekend. So it's been a bit of a hectic finish to the season. It is incredibly close in pretty much all of the classes apart from Trial 2. There's 4 points covering the top 3 in TrialGB. So that's all to play for there with 2 rounds left. So Harry's leading it at the minute from Jack and Billy. And they each have 1 win apiece in the in the 3 rounds so far. So it's been a pretty tight championship so far. Tumbleweed.
It's interesting, isn't it, to see them all pushing each other.
Yeah,
I think like a good standard of, from like watching the videos you've been doing, Ross, to be fair, they've been quite good events, like good standard of section for them as well. It's been hard enough, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's up a level even over Trial 2. Trial 2, I don't think is as hard. The sections aren't as hard.
Not judging by the scores, are they?
Yeah. So
we Trial 2 World Round, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, yes. Trial 2 World Championships, which most of the guys compete in.
Yeah, I think the level of the trials have been good. Like, obviously, I've been to all of them in that top class, and it's just been a good sort of series of events. It's just a shame there's not been more of them, really. I think the fact that you can base, like, you can have a championship on 5 rounds, I think is a bit not really a championship in my opinion. But I think if with the effort that they've put into the events that they've ran, I think if we could have had a few more, it'd have been a great championship. And like you say, the level of the sections has actually been, in my opinion, the same as yours, like slightly higher than Trial 2 World Championships.
Yeah, which I think
that's what it needs to be, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that level that plays out when you look at the results in the Trial 2 World Championship. It's like the British guys are at the top.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the levels bang on there, I would say. But it's just been how close the rounds have been. The last one, I suppose, was the only one really. I think Jack won it, but Jack went round for 17 all day. He won on his first lap. And I think Harry lost 18 on his first lap. So he was, and then he went round for 2 and 4 or something on the next 2 laps. So it's just, he was actually riding really well until he got to those last 3 or 4 sections across the paddock field, and I think he have 3 5s out of the 4 sections in there, I think, which on the first lap that kind of put pay to his challenge. But anyway, right. So what way do we reckon that's going to go?
Honestly, I wouldn't like to say. It could go anyway, couldn't it?
It could.
I must admit, like, I would like to see Harry win. With Harry being as close as he is, like, I would like to see Harry get up there. Like, I'm screaming out for Jack to get a podium. And we were so close at Rock and Hot. So that's what I would personally like. That I don't really care about the championship. I want to get Jack on the podium.
But he should go all right. He should go all right at Addingham, shouldn't he?
I'd have thought so. To be honest, I think it's such a strange place, Addingham, isn't it? Hugo will know from riding, because Hugo would have ridden the World Championship there, I'm sure, and I'm sure he's probably ridden a few other trials there as well. And it's such a physically demanding place.
Very similar to Rock and Hop, it's probably grippier event.
Yeah,
pretty similar, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's grippy and steep, isn't it? That's basically what it is. As long as it doesn't rain. If it rains, it'll be awful. But
yeah, not so good. Right. So we were talking about getting Jack on the podium then for last couple of rounds. What about maybe just pulling 2 wins out of the bag and winning the championship?
It'd be good to see, wouldn't it? Would be good to see.
That'd be a turn up for the books.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
Well, in a way, it wouldn't, though, would it? Like, they're all capable. They're all that close.
It's honestly anyone's at this point, isn't it? Really, it's
But Jack might go better at Geddington. I'm thinking actually that might suit him more. A few hill climbs and stuff in there.
It does enjoy a bit of a muddy hill climb as well. So I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, got to ride it, isn't it?
That's it. It's the same sections for everybody, isn't it? So
When are you going to make your British Championship debut anyway, Russell?
Me?
I reckon in the expert class, mate. I reckon you'd go all right.
You reckon? I made my British Championship debut at Pateley Bridge in 1995.
Go on. That was
Is it
before
black
I was
and white
born.
then?
That was
Yeah, everything was black and white. It was really hard to see the markers.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah.
Grey on the right, grey on the left.
On a TYZ Yamaha. Yeah, for a real man's bike. Probably why I couldn't ride it.
Back in the heyday.
Yeah, when men were men and sheep were nervous. I'll edit that out. Maybe. So Trial 2, British Championship. Jamie Galloway is starring in that this year. He has a 13-point lead in the championship with 2 rounds to go. So I'm guessing he wasn't too happy that Dan Peace turned up at Rock and Hop. And he's entered for Addingham as well. I'm assuming he's probably going to do the rest of the championship. But yeah, so he ended up tied with Dan, which was a pretty damn good ride, to be fair, on 9 marks at the last one. Yeah. He said to me, I said to him, "How have you gone?" He says, "Oh, I think I've gone all right. I'm down 9." And I just looked at him like, "Yeah, of course you are, Jamie."
Yeah, I remember you saying he was like pulling your arm or not.
Yeah. No, you can't be down, what, 9 on the first lap? Yeah, that would have been good enough. But yeah, so hopefully he's not watching this. Sorry, Jamie, if you are watching this.
Not sorry, Jamie, if you are watching.
Not really sorry, no. But yeah, so I'm not quite sure. Well, I suppose TrialGB is a big ask when you're not riding sort of full time, but I was surprised to see Dan in Trial 2, or maybe I'm being...
Yeah, it depends if you want a nicer day out, probably Trial 2 is the place to be.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like flat. I think he was telling me as well, he's had a bit of a back injury recently, so
yeah,
I imagine you'd really want to be risking it after you've had a bad back for months. But
no, it's not. It's not really where you want to be. You don't want to be jumping back off some of that stuff if you've got a dodgy back. Expert class again, very close. There's 4 points covering the top 3 in that, which is I'm gonna struggle to remember who it is now. It's Brad Bullock,
Luke Walker, Brad Bullock.
Yeah, Brad Bullock,
Dan, isn't it?
Luke Walker, and then Dan Thorpe.
Yeah.
So that again, all to play for there.
The age-old battle of Brad Bullock and Dan Thorpe.
Dan Thorpe, he's hard to beat, isn't he? He's a bit like Josh's dad, Philip. I could count on one. I've been riding against him basically my entire career, and I can count on one hand the number of times I've beaten him. He's just always. He's just one of those really annoyingly good people. Yeah. Anyway, right. Anything else? Anybody wants to speak about? Covered everything.
Not really. I think if anybody's watching who's got any clout and decision-making capacity, I think it would be good to have more than 5 rounds next year, like Matt was saying.
Yeah,
5
I agree.
Enough for a championship, in my opinion.
Just get a little petition going.
Yeah, I would say probably
get on it, mate.
Probably 6 or 7 is.
Well, we used to have like 8 or.
Yeah, but I think when you go to like 8+ rounds, then you're starting to struggle for dates in a calendar.
Yeah,
but I think certainly 6 or 7 would be.
This is the British Championship. It should probably be the first thing in the calendar, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should.
Just a couple of double headers, or you start them earlier, finish them later. It doesn't really matter, does it? Just
double headers are the way. Like if you say you've got to go, you're going up to Scotland. Why not go for 2 days riding rather than 1?
2 days.
Exactly.
Yeah, or maybe if there was one in Northern Ireland, that'd be really good.
That would be good.
2 days.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. See if we can make that happen.
Let's all. Let's go to Josh for once rather than Josh coming to us.
Tell you, I don't know how to do it every weekend. See, driving along that A75 through Scotland, it is absolutely painful. Fair play. Fair play.
Yeah.
They've been doing it. They've been doing it for years. I did it a while back in the 90s, but like not anything like what Josh has done. So yeah, but it would be nice to make all you guys have to do that drive at least once.
I'd do it.
Oh, you would probably just go. You would just go across to Dublin. You go would be probably your preferred method. Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good to get one back over here. That super trial that I ran there a few weeks ago. There was a British Championship there in 2005 and 6 or something like that, I think. So it's a definitely a suitable venue anyway. It would be.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah,
it'd be good to see, definitely.
Yeah, failing that, just have to get you all over the super trial next year.
Yeah, can you pick a sunnier weekend though, please?
Yeah, weather wasn't great, to be fair. But for the trials purist, I'd like to think that the rain added something to it, I think. Not sure what it was, just a lot of wet people. But yeah.
You allowed minders in your super trial, or do people have to risk their lives there as well?
No, the joke that I don't know if you've seen. Well, you wouldn't know who the observers were necessarily, but if you watch the video I put out, you'll see brilliant the observer holding the tape back because he didn't want the tape to get broken because he couldn't be bothered replacing it, so he thought I'll just hold it back.
Yeah, dude.
Brilliant. There you go. That's how we roll over here. Yeah. No, all good. No, there's no shortage of minders. Yeah, there's plenty of guys to do a bit of catching. Not sure how good they are, but yeah, you can fall on them even. Yeah, no, it was a good weekend. Got Harry and George over. They enjoyed it, and yeah, all good. So, is that us then?
Got your Scott trial entry in this year, Russ.
What do you think? Absolutely not. I had thought about it.
And I thought I remembered you mentioning it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was definitely thinking about it because Sam McCallion from SJ Trials was all, I'm going to do Scotland and then I'm just going to keep training and I'm going to do the Scot. So I thought, yeah, okay, I'll maybe jump on that train with you. But we both came
back. On the train.
I derailed that train. So yeah, that's not happening. I might go over and watch it maybe. When is it? 15th?
Sometime
it's about middle of October sometime, isn't it? I tell you, I might not actually be able to be there because I might be in America.
Oh yeah.
I might be in Florida. I've just entered the final round of the NATC.
So you might, or you are going. Sounds to me like you are going.
Yeah, well, it just depends. It just depends what date I go. I will be there. I'll be in Florida on the trial's on the 26th, 27th.
Yeah.
So I'll be there then, but it just depends whether I go for a couple of weeks before or I make a holiday sort of thing out of it. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see what the plan is. But yeah, that's I tell you what, they pay for the trials in America. It's $100 a day to enter the trial, and it gets progressively more expensive the closer you get to the event. So I think it's about $100 up to, I think it's 4 weeks before the event, and then it goes up by $50 every week. After that, I think the maximum is about $250 or something.
I think World Championships get more expensive the closer you get as well.
Yeah, the TDN does as well. I think if you miss the date, it just doubles. If you miss the first sort of payment date for the entries, it doubles.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so I think Are you not going over to that, Matt? I think Alicia's going over, is she?
To what, America?
Yeah.
Lisi is going. I'm not going.
No.
They're going. No, we're gonna get Stu back on the job, I think. Because I mean, they're going. They're going as like sort of like a family holiday and just sort of. Yeah, I think that is their plan.
Yeah, well, we'll probably do.
To be honest, I've been away. I feel like I've been away more this year than I ever have been. And unfortunately, I need to do some proper work at home.
Yeah.
So, which is, yeah, unfortunately, just becoming a reality as now I'm getting old. But for sure,
Yeah.
I'll be catching motorcycles again next year, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
Getting old.
Let's
Tell me
see.
about it. The reason I'm going to Cyprus, it's my 50th birthday next week. So,
really,
yeah,
Keep mentioning all
50.
these holidays. I'm gonna have to start calling you Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide.
yeah.
Yes.
Don't know
To
where
be
that was
fair,
going.
every time I've been to a trial this year, I feel like you've just been stood in some tree somewhere wearing a media bib. So
Yeah.
You never know where I'm going to turn up.
no, you don't. You don't.
Yeah, like a bad smell. Just turn up anywhere.
That'd be cool to forward, I think.
Yeah, it all sort
Yeah.
of came about. It all came about in Scotland. I was numbers beside Alex Sneederer
Oh yeah.
in Scotland, and it's his club that's running it. So he sort of said, "If I can find a bike, would you come over?" And I said, "Yeah,
Good for that, yeah.
absolutely." So yeah, there was a moment where I thought I was going to have to ride a beta, which was I was going to seriously compromise things, but I think he's managed to find me a TRS. So
You know what? If you don't P1 it now you've got a bit of machinery that you actually want. Like if you don't have a good result, you should have ridden a beta.
in
Yeah.
fairness, I'm only riding the sportsman class, so I don't know what. Well, I don't know what level that's at, but it's like third or fourth one down. So yeah. Anyway, right.
Nice.
No. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Thanks for your input, Matt and Hugo. Oh, you wanted to bring up the subject, didn't you, of minders in trial 2? British.
Oh, no, about my dig. No,
Are you complaining about the number of rounds and the lack of minders?
I don't want to sound like I'm complaining because the rounds that we've had have been good this year. So
yeah,
the last one was a real good one. So
yeah.
But they'd just be better if Trial2 had minders, wouldn't they, Hugo?
Well, you could just have the last one was good because they actually put some proper. There was like some good sections to go at and stuff. But there was a couple of things then you thought like, oh, I wouldn't mind someone. There was a couple of big crashes because of people not having minders. So, and I noticed there's a few people like missing off the entry list for the next one, and I just wondered if that might have been a bit of the reason behind it or something.
Yeah, because Addingham, there's not really any small crashes at Addingham.
No, but I don't mind a good crash, and probably people have seen me have plenty, but it's not. I just don't see the point.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
People want to mind to pay your extra tenner, and you feel a bit safer to have a go at something. Then
yeah, I don't understand that one, especially after the whole flipping Toby thing last year in the World Championship with minders. It's a fairly high profile argument, that one.
I think it's still on. There's a lot of people still sort of having conversations here and there, riders with organisers and whatever. So
yeah,
I think anyone I've asked just said, "Oh, it's not really my decision."
yeah. It was him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand it, but I guess maybe they're just trying to keep costs down for riders. But I mean, generally speaking, I mean, your dad does it for you, and he probably would go with you anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not sure.
Not to be down on it. Like, it has been good. The rounds we've had have been real good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit gutted. I'm going to miss this one because Addingham's a great venue.
Yeah.
But we'll get back for Geddington, and get a bit of coverage out for that one as well. So all being well.
Is this getting to venue, the one where they're gonna is that where they're holding the world round next
World
year?
round, yeah. So, there's like a
bit of a preview.
I don't know what you would call it, like a stately home.
I thought so, yeah.
Across the road, and I think that's where the paddock is going to be. So I don't know what they're going to do. Whether they're maybe going to build like a temporary bridge, or maybe there's some other way they can get across the road or something. I don't know. To get into where the sections are. I'm assuming that's where they're going to have it.
Yeah.
The same.
I'm presuming so as well, yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's certainly capable of being a good world round in there.
Yeah.
It's sort of man-made, but it isn't.
Yeah,
no, I think it could be good, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see. Hopefully the lads will do a good job, and it'll be good to see the World Championship back in the UK.
Yeah, good to see, and I'm sure. Yeah, well, Jack and Danny will do it.
Might have to make a return.
I think you might have to, mate.
Trial 3.
Get on the one dinger. I might just do TrialGB. I might get top 10 then.
Why not? I'll mind for you.
All right. Yeah.
There we go. Right. Watch this space.
Well, you can't wear a minder bib and a media bib. That's just greedy.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Sorry, Hugo.
How many minders can I sign on with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, that'll do us for now. Hopefully it'll not be as long before we do another episode. We'll do a roundup of the British and the World Championship, and probably the TDN, I would say, because the next time we're all going to probably be able to get together will be after all that lot. So episode 17 incoming sometime around about start of October, probably. In the meantime, again, guys, thank you very much for your time. If you haven't liked and subscribed and done all that, like I said at the start, please do. It does help the channel. We are actually monetized now, but I haven't earned enough money to get paid yet, because you have to earn more than 60 or 70 quid. So, we're getting there. If you want to do a super like and donate some money to help us out, that would be really good too, because it's costing me a fortune doing all this crap. Thanks anybody for watching and subscribing. Anybody that has, it's all good. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
See you later.